I've liked the sound of pedal tones or drone notes in popular music for a long period of time. They're really not much different from each other, these two ideas of drone notes or pedal tones. Drones typically go through a whole song. Pedal tones may just show up in a verse or a chorus, maybe a little shorter duration. But you know what I mean. Here's a couple examples. Right? Very recognizable. So, we know immediately the songs that they're involved in. So that's a really catchy idea. I really like it. But if you actually look at what's going on, it's a single note. It's not very complicated. We can make it more complicated, maybe by using two notes. And for that purpose, I do like the bottom two strings, the D and the E. You might say, well, what can we do with that? Well, in the key of E, those are a naturally occurring pair of open strings, so it's available to us. If we just look at the major chords in the key of E, we get the drone notes for free. It looks like we're playing bar chords, but really we're just playing the top four strings, and the bottom two strings, they're just allowed to stay open the whole time. Really, really nice. Now we might say to ourselves, this seems very simple. What does it sound like if we try to name these chords? Well, now the world gets a little bit more annoying. The E major chord, of course, very simple. The A becomes an A add 9, and the B is a B add 11. So suddenly things start sounding really fancy, but all we're doing is making a simple bar chord shape anyway, and extending it up and down the fretboard and leaving two strings open. Now we've been doing this a lot in our playing. If you remember the idea of our G major chord, going to a C add 9, going to a D, so D sus 4 in this case, D sus 4, C add 9, and our regular G chord, those are using the bottom two strings as pedal tones. We're never changing these two fingers we've locked in, and we've simplified our playing an awful lot. Naming the chord starts to get complicated and might drive us a little squirrely, but the idea is there. Another great place to do this is with the C major chords. So in the major key of C, we've got a C. You notice I'm adding my baby finger to the G note, and I've got a C and a G. Well, that's a natural root and fifth of C. And we're going to hold this position and play an F. Very easy chord to hit. It's actually a simpler F than we often run into, but it's letting us keep our pedal tones, and of course we can come back and play our G, and that's a G add 11. So this idea of a drone sounds great. It simplifies the chord changes we have to make because we're really only moving one or two fingers in the transitions, and we've made our life much more interesting because it just sounds cool.